Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is a generator I was hooking up for my parents. Wanted to do it simple and affordable. So we got the wire that we needed. It depends on how many watts your generator is pulling. In our case, we needed a 6-4 wire. Also, the connection that you need, or the plug outlet that you're gonna attach, has to do with the input outlet or outlets that are available on your receptacle. In my case, I decided to go with something kind of like a dryer style receptacle to give us the 50 amps that we wanted. So here we have the wire that we're going to use for the cord and the plug attachment. So it's not so complicated so much as it is tedious. You have to unscrew these 4 screws in the back to open it up and get access to the area where you're going to connect the 2 feeds, a neutral and a ground. As you can see, the ground is clearly marked as green, and you see my holy gloves here. You also have to loosen up the inlet, of course, to get the wire in there. To make the connections, I usually find it easier to take those pieces out, the metal pieces, the connectors out, so that you can make the connections, but you still also need to be very careful in placing them exactly where they were before. They don't fit the other way. And make sure that as you strip out your wire, you're not stripping it out too far. You have to get measurements on where each wire, the white, the red, the black, the green, are going individually, because they're all kind of landing in this different spot, and it's a very confined space that you have to work with. So here I am peeling back the wire, skinning out each wire individually, and landing it on each of the connectors or connections as they should be. Make sure you have a nice tight connection as always, because this plug is going to be pulling a lot of heat. So as they heat up, it heats up and then expands, and then it becomes cold again and shrinks over time. This happens with any electrical thing. So try to make it as tight as you can so that it will last as long as possible. You see me here stripping out the wires. I decided to use my Kleins. I didn't have wire strippers that go up that high of a gauge on me. You see I gave up on the gloves. Also probably not a good idea, guys, if you want to make sure you don't slip and cut yours out. But here we go. All the connections are made. Closing it up, which is easier said than done, but get it nice and tight. Put all the screws back in place logically so that you have your outlet ready to go. Before I did this, also, you want to make sure it actually is the outlet that fits one of your input or output receptacles on the generator. So you see I did test that after I made it up. Of course, I already tested it out before I made it up also, to make sure we got the right thing. Now we're going to go to the panel box. This is on the other end of that SO cord. SO cord is rated to be outside. You want to get that kind of wire, unless you're planning to insulate it with PVC or something else. Now, once again, coming into a connector into the panel box, be careful, these bus bars are live. Very, very careful, guys. Disclaimer. So I already had the breaker pulling the wire in very safely. We're going to land it. So the red and the black obviously go to the poles on the 50 amp breaker. The white and the ground, the neutral, are going to go to the neutral bar, which is also grounded in this case because this is the outside service connected to the meter. You will see that later, or maybe you already saw it in earlier pictures. So depending on the situation you're dealing with, you may have a separate ground bar and a separate neutral bar. That's awesome. Use those. I didn't have that. So we are landing the ground and the neutral in the same bar. The generator is already grounded. Also, you want to make sure that I was hooking up a new generator, so I didn't have to check that many things. Now here's the interlock device that we're going to be placing on the main breaker and that bottom 50 amp breaker. Obviously the 50 amp breaker has to be directly below it. As you're ordering this device, you want to make sure you're getting the correct one for your panel box. Every panel box has a different fitting. I ordered this online, double, triple checked that this is what I needed for the Simon's panel the outdoor panel. They measure that space you see there between the main breaker and the slot where the generator main breaker is going to go. This ensures that linesmen can't get shocked. There's not going to be any feedback. It also ensures that when the current does come back, all of a sudden your generator is not going to get fried in some accident. It's the safest way to do. And you see we have the caution tag on there in case a linesman does come to the meter can, so they will be aware that that potential current is there. So now it's time to test it. Started up the generator and check the output before we connect it. So I got 270 where I should get it, 120 on all those other outlets. This is a very nice generator. I like it and it works. All right guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Tell others about me.